right, too, to be here. Trying to get past that pollen. That bad boy knows she's strong, too. All right, everybody all right? All right, too, to be alive by the count of Yahuah. Isn't that right? See, some of y'all showing up a little regular. Look at that. That's all right. I'm almost starting to recognize you. You see more regular, isn't that right? Porky Mike, where he at? Sick and shut in again. That man made about 3. That man, who? He made the move hard. I knew that food would come. I knew he gonna make it. That's it. Labor not for to meet that parrot, Porky. Porky forced his way in here. I knew he was sick. Look at his eye, but that thing was bleeding COVID. Where? That man was bleeding COVID out his eye. That man, I gotta make that move hard though. They gotta give me something to eat. Cause I hope they had them baby back ribs this year. Like, no, good well we ain't got no baby back ribs. He tried though. People do what they can to get in. Here we are, still the world still spiraling out of control, but I don't think people really paying attention to it to make the adjustment and the changes. So y'all been getting the text messages in the morning. Y'all starting to adjust how you do things? I'm talking about just totally though, the energy level. We talked about being those energy sources. You definitely want to be conscious and mindful of what you put out, because a lot of it is the same thing, you know. You look at what you're going to bring in. Even in the book of Kahalat, it tells you to cast your lakam upon the ma'im. He said, after many yamin, it'll come back to you. So you got to start looking at what we put out, what we're looking to try to retrieve back. He would told us that be not deceived, Elohim is not marked. Whatsoever each soul, the same thing he going to reap. So what you put out, typically what you're going to reap and what you're going to bring in. You know, haven't been conscious of it in the past, but now it's one of those things where you see where the world's going. And as you said, what manner of person ought you to be in all manner of conversation? So you got to start looking at a productive behavior as well. and, you know, starting out with, you know, being productive in your servitude toward Yahushua HaMashiach. And then that should radiate as well to other people, because that become our Ka'id force, our life force. Then, you know, it's only natural that other things will tend to kind of turn to work out for a benefit for us. But if we just look at, well, you know, F everybody else, I'm just trying to look at how I'm going to serve Yahuah, but serving Yahushua. And Yahuah is going to go along with how you deal with your fellow man as well. I mean, it's to a point where you have to become conscious of, you consider the state that you were in and where you came from, then you got to consider other people as well. Even other people in other religions. All of us walk from other religions, which means other people from other religions are going to have to make the transformation as well. We don't want to forget, you know, where we came from and where we were at. It wasn't any doing of our own that Yahuah saw fit to remove us from it or allow us to see. There's no doing of nobody else. There are some that will see and know and will continue to go contrary, but those are, you know, they're in a category by themselves. We're talking about the people that's sad and innocent who actually just don't know. Nobody's told them, and everybody's going to go with the majority. You know that. You have a vote, and there's a lot of people, and people want to go different way. What they going to say? Let's go with the majority. Well, they said the majority rules. So what did they do? They converted enough people into transgression to where the transgressors outnumber the people that are doing right. Even he talked about how the woman that don't have a husband have way more children than she that have one. So they're going to outnumber. You're going to look at the unlawful versus the people that keep the Torah. They're going to outnumber us. That's just it. That's why he told Yasharal. He said, you were the fewest. What you think the majority was? The majority were transgressors. The majority were people he knew I can't use them. But he saw fit to pick all of us out of the different walks of life we come from, the different situation, events we all suffered and gone through, and look where it landed us. There are people out here, he'll see fit to allow them to do well financially. He'll allow them to do well in the business industry or whatever they might, you know, pursue. But for us, he chose our salvation. Why it might not seem like much now, wait till the mosh pot comes. Wait till the mosh pot comes. You have some things you deal with and things you have to wrestle with in your mind, but that's only because if this way was an easy way, everybody come to it. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? That's common sense. Who wouldn't go to an easier way? All right, who wouldn't take the shorter route? Signs say shortcut, save 400 miles and you're going 3. Who wouldn't take that? Even though I ain't going but 3 miles, I can save 400. It's common sense I'll take this. I take something off of 3 miles, that's even faster. But the way it's set up, when you come over this way, you have to suffer. And there's some things you have to deal with because it's about finding out who will be committed. And see, a lot of us haven't been totally committed. And this is what this is way about. It's about commitment. Just like a relationship, it's a commitment. That's why it's similar to a relationship. When you get married, you know they ask you for richer, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, to death. Right? I'm sorry, as long as you both shall kai. So guess what? Why is it an individual can get that, but Yahuah can't get it? So when we get sick, first thing we do, we want to abandon him. But you get sick, you're supposed to stay in your marriage. Or if your spouse gets sick. And you're supposed to be rich or poor. That's what that's what their wedding vows say. Rich or poor. Why is it when we lose and we look at financial, man, I'm getting strapped, so I'm gonna have to leave the religion, I'm gonna have to give up on it. See, it's about showing us what a hypocrite we are. It is, because people don't look. You'll take a commitment with somebody that actually can't. No spouse got any bearings really on your health, not unless they poison you or feeding you foods to kill you. Other than that, they don't have anything to do with your existence. You're going to still moot, and they're going to moot as well. But you're dealing with somebody who has the control over your health, has the control over your welfare and your mental state. Nothing you're doing, nothing you got is of yourself. You can exercise, you can run, you can eat properly. You ain't going to believe it, people still die. All the things that we try to formulate around our life to try to prolong our existence, I mean, it's only for a period of time. Everything you're doing is only for a period of time. I don't care how financial you get sick. It's all for a period of time because we all leaving here. So we're trying to make reservations while we're here to make sure we got this thing right with Mr. Yahuah. That's why we have to constantly keep making these adjustments. Everybody won't be able to make these adjustments, and that's fine because it's all about where you at. Everybody here, it's all about where you at. You will get left. Make no mistake, you will get left because I'm fully committed to whatever commitments or whatever change I got to make. I will not drag you. I will not make you. You will not hear me yell at you to make it. That will be your choice because every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl know what they want to do. That's just being honest. You know what you want to do. I know what I want to do when I first came. I ain't even talking about here. I'm talking when I first made my mind up I wanted to get right. I knew what I wanted to do. And I didn't come to temporary. It wasn't even a thought in my mind about being temporary. It wasn't even a thought in my mind. My whole mind was I wanted to get right. I didn't want to die and I didn't want to be a transgressor anymore. So I had my mind set up, years ago, and that's all according to, Mr. Yahuah and all the situations, the advents he allowed me to go through and deal with. Some, you just making out of it, and some you didn't know how you're going to get out of it. Not knowing what you're going to do or how it's going to work out, and then he worked it out, but it was all about you got to be committed. And then when you're committed, he got to take you through things to make sure you're really committed. Because a lot of people say they're committed till something happens. That's true. The average of us, it's only till something happens. A lot of people here have been here only because the situation had happened. So when your situation coming? It's just being honest. It's just a situation. A lot of us, it's just a situation. So you have to really make sure you constantly examine yourself and make sure that you're rooted and grounded in what it is you believe. I'm telling you, you're going to be tested. You can't come this way and that's the end of it. Well, at least I got in. No, you get in, you're going to have to be in for the ride. You're going to be in for the long haul. You have to consider, weigh everything, count up the cost. It can cost you everything. It can cost you your marriage. I got people here tell you they came in married, they single. That's not how they came, though. They didn't figure when they came they were going to be single. I got people came in married and then separated. They didn't figure it. Nobody would have did that. I'd have never done it. If I knew I was going to come in and get married and then be separated, I'd have never done it. He said, I know, but I had to try you to see where your heart was. Listen, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. It's a lot of things. You get your life arranged and you look at things, but then a lot of times it pushes you sometimes to your purest point. When trouble and situations happen and when they put you to those test limits, it gives you an opportunity to really examine what do you have. And you see just how non-existent and how non-lasting a lot of things are. A lot of people put a lot on relationships with people, and a lot of times you don't consider your main point of affection should be on Yahuah. When you put it on people, you'll crash. People will hurt you. People will let you down. People will let you down. I don't care what come out their mouth, how they teeth cut, or all of them straight. They will let you down. People will lie to you. People will con you. People will run you through. He won't. That's why I'm still with him. I just learned I don't put a whole lot of confidence in people. I really don't. People going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day. That's why people don't move me. Y'all want to know how I've been able to do this all these years? I don't put a whole lot of confidence in people. I just don't. Whatever you're going to do, it'll prove it out. That ain't saying you don't trust. No, I just don't. At the end of the day, one thing I can tell you, I know who gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. And I got a reason why I gotta do it. I ain't just doing it. I'm not just one that beat it no hell now. I got a reason why I'm doing it. My soul attached to it. Y'all hear me? So for me, I mean, it's an all the way journey. I don't have nothing else I can do. If I had another talent, another gift that could get me out of destruction and eternal Sheol from burning, I'll tell you no lie, I'd do it. I would do it, I would take it. I heard a man say one time, and he ain't here no more. He said he would serve Yahuah even if it wasn't Sheol on the table. I thought it was very dumb. I wouldn't. There's no way I would go through this and I'll put myself through it unless it was something better. It don't make sense. Why would I serve? If I ain't gonna go to Sheol and nothing gonna happen to me, I'll holler at y'all. And it won't be back in their room either. Y'all hear me? It don't make sense. He put it, see, this is what people say stuff, but he prove them out no longer. It don't take long out to come say prove y'all. Why y'all think he put Sheol on the table? Man is not gonna live right on his own. He's not gonna do it on his own. It gotta be some stipulation, gotta be some circumstance, it gotta be some condition. It gotta be some hard-pressed way to make man do what he's doing. Mike, they lied to you. We ain't have no move hard, but it's good to see you. Somebody take that man and told him they found out Pure had one more day. That joke, I heard something screaming coming in that parking lot. I wanted to clear that up though, innit? Man, I'm on the way, I mean in 5 minutes. But you know, these are the things that you really want to know for yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Know why you're doing it. Someone says, well, I'm just gonna keep holding on till I get understanding I do it. You might not understand all of the debate at the time, but you need to understand why you're doing what you're doing. That's one thing I need to do. I didn't know why I'm here. I want to know what's the consequence if you fall away. If something, see, that's why a lot of people can do it, because you hadn't weighted against nothing. I had to weigh everything I got against something. What do I stand to lose? If I turn away, what do I stand to lose? Can I gain that back again? No. I can't afford it. That's why I'm here. I can't afford it. I can't afford no eternal burning. I can't do it. There's no other option. This is it. I mean, that's all you got. His way or you're going to burn. What do you choose? Why did he put it there? It's a persuasion. Even Shaul said, therefore, knowing the terror of Elohim. What did he say we do? Why he ain't try to persuade him with the heart? Why he ain't try to persuade him with the fishes and the loaves? No, he said, therefore, knowing the terror of Yahuah. He said, we persuade unashamed. So when you start to sit back and consider your whole life gonna be up in flames. I ain't talking about my career or your natural house burning. We talking about your body. We talking about where your nefarious habitat at. That means I'm gonna destroy it. So that give me an opportunity to sit down and consider. Y'all got me? I didn't have no Ark Malaki. These people call Archangel to come by my house and knock on the door and talk to me to come. Man, put something in my law. I know what I had to do. You gotta be conditioned for it. Y'all got it? That is. Some people try to run out there and run a race, and some people condition. They train themselves for it. That's what they do. He put us through conditioning so you don't faint. Hello? Because you got to run this race with patience. You condition for that. You can put what you want in your mind. Go out there and try it. We still waiting on Jahid to do that 6-minute mile out there on the track. Jahid, we still going to get that 6-minute mile. Huh? What y'all think the problem is? Why would I give a flying flip if he runs 6-minute mile? That man told me, I want him to do it. What am I going to gain if he runs a 6-minute mile? So you going to run this 6-minute mile tonight? Let's make that nigga do it, folks. Y'all roll with me. I just want to be there with that nigga. When that joker fall out and he laying over on that treadmill, he know what treadmill I want him on. Yeah, that. We just want to see where he at. Ain't that right? It don't take that long. Don't worry about it. It won't take that long. Now, Jahid got this kind of retarded thing going on with him, man. He ain't retarded, but he got like that retarded button he can push. And he might mess around and do it. He click that button on. He do some weirdo stuff like that. He'll go to a marathon and just start running. Ain't been practicing. You know what I'm saying? Very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that stuff. You know, you condition yourself, you train yourself, you pace yourself. He just go out there and kick that retarded button and start running people down out of nowhere. Full gear. That's the thing with full gear. Folk got on nut huggers, booty grabbers, ain't that right? Nipple showers, all kind of stuff, trying to be loose and relaxed to run. And there comes Yahuah in a 9-piece suit, running past them. They don't see him out there. They got that picture out there that play. They see him come, they say, that guy that retarded strength. They see him coming out there. It's almost time to run it again, ain't it? What is it, in May? When y'all run out there? May, June, July? In July? August? Where you got July from? Man, too hot in July. I'm thinking about barbecue. I ain't got time to run them for. They'll be all right. Man, I ain't got to go nowhere and run them. People running my yard. Ain't that right, Tom? Too. You running, I'll be out running my business. Ain't that right? You got them folks make you bust your heart out there. Chris got out there around that white man. He ain't been back out there since. Ain't that right? He talking about, you know how you said I beat that white man. I called that white man. He said he didn't beat me. I was finna lap him the third time. That man had been through that finish line 2 other times. He was just coming back around and Chris. He caught the back of Chris, so it looked like Chris won. Chris, how many of them races you ran?
2.
2 of them. You ready to go run another one?
No, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Yahuah, you ready to go out there and run another one?
No, I ran 3.
Oh, you ran 3. How many you won?
No. I could have won one.
You could have. Yeah.
I didn't want to beat the guy with the running feet, so.
Yes, sir.
He just snitched on Shaki and said she wanted to operate that. Signs of my father. He said she knows all.
She know about.
But he just told me.
Are you looking to go back out there and run?
Yes, sir.
When y'all going? August.
Not right now.
See, I gone in and condition for that and be ready. But see, there's a lot of practicing to put in for that stuff. All you do is just stay in a regular routine shape. That way you always be ready for what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of stay in the ready. Do they give y'all any money? What they give for that? What they getting, the money prize? $10,000. What is that? Boy, I'm finna get in that gym. I'm finna be training so hard. Boy, I need that money. I said $10,000. How much? So what they give y'all? Some of them racing. I didn't run through the hell like a little needle. Pop them white. Before you see all that extra stretching on the side, just walking in and talk to them, just sticking, just palms. You doing all right? So congratulations, stick them jokers. They fall out and run past them. Some of them people just be in the way. And when you see them folks take out and they just start walking, I cancel the race on them jokers. So I know you ain't come out here to get no number to start walking. Get your behind out of here. Then the folks hold up the whole race and walking, they in the way. Whole time. You got to run around them. How many walkers you had to run around, Yahuah? I already, see, was I there? We ain't had that conversation, did we? I already know who hold the whole race up. Walkers. Walking, gapped up, got the gap jacked up. You can't run through them. You got to run all. That's part of your mile right now. How many foot you got to run? What is it, 3 miles y'all running? 3.2. Them numbers don't even add up. I'm running 2, 3, 4, 5. Why am I doing these 0.2? I'm stopping this like this little retarded spot somewhere. Get even number first of all. Don't call something 5K and it's really 3 point. Why are you putting these kilometers? Just call it what it is. They call it 5, make it like somebody think you run 5 miles. That's when you're trying to jip people. Call it what it is. The 3.2 mile race. The 5K. Come to the 5K race. And the people don't know no better. They don't know math. They think they ran 5 miles. But what Sarah, you remember? I remember Sarah got there. Listen, I went down, I'm gonna butt my heart. I went to say that. I carried down. I said, okay. I said, how you ran? She said, I already ran 3 miles. I said, goodness. Man, I took off, man. I was running, trying to catch up. I was like, boy, I'm so far behind. You remember we used to go out there and say that listen, you remember we go out there and run that thing. I'm running that thing. But I'm trying to catch up. I'm like so far behind. Someday I would run about 3, 4 miles out there. 5 miles. I'm talking about running my little heart out trying to get it. I caught out there one day, but I got that early catching. She already went out. I was like, how far around? She said, I ran a mile. I said, a mile? How you ran a mile? She thought each one of them walk around was a mile. She thought she had getting 4, 5 miles. But them folks had these now, I'm going to throw my heart out of gear. Because like Sarah done ran 4 miles, I'm behind. I'm like, you got it. Listen, we used to go to Salem. We used to kill it in that. Listen, they had to run there. I had to put them weights out there. They had to do some weight exercise, run a lap. Then we run the stadium. Hard busting. Man, I walk out there right now, I fall out and die if I look at that stuff. I be thinking, what kind of retarded people do this stuff here? Yeah, we used to get out there. We used to get out there. We used to really get it out there. Them days that over with. Then got to start teaching y'all how to count. I ain't gonna be able to do it no more. I'm old. I was old then though. We were doing that while I was in my 40s. Goodness. Appreciate you, who I'm still breathing. Everyone, I'm sure some member wanted me to die. Spirit one owe me money. Dear Lord Jesus, let him die. You'd be surprised. Folk be praying for you to die, just getting strong and strong. Riley, you came out and used to run then. Riley, you did run, because you raced one time. Y'all raced Austin. I remember saying that when y'all at the track. You and Ernest. Oh, that was your racer. But I thought he came out there. He used to run out there. Cam got that retarded strength. He just take off running. Now, some stuff people do, I ain't calling nobody retarded, but they're that retarded strength where they just do stuff. Man, we went out there one day, Justin, I was so mad. We was sitting out there where it was at Cheesecake Factory downtown. He said, I tell you what. He said, the real strength of an athlete, he said, they can run right and get through E right here. I was like, that joint on top, we left Cheesecake Factory, went straight to the track. Man, when I ran up, when I tell you it was hot, man, that sun, it's like I was carrying that thing on my back. Man, that thing was so hot, man, we was out there melting down. You know that sorry joker didn't come? That joker went straight home. He said, I didn't say I was coming. I just said the real. We had got here like, oh, he gonna be behind. We down here, let's go ahead and start running that thing. I tell you, we were breathing hard. That Cheesecake Factory was pushing us down. That cheese was just like melting on you. It was just breaking down. Yeah, we did some retarded stuff. But I used to go to Fogo and work out. I'd go eat at Fogo and go straight out there and work out. Yeah, I took some people out there, they get through E, and they went out there, and yeah, it was pretty bad too. It was pretty bad for them. It was probably a bad decision for them to go out there. They paid for that. They were sick. They were sick. We had some days though that build you up though, learn how to get through it and learn how to keep going. But anyway, other than that, our biggest goal is trying to press through with sin. See, a lot of stuff I do, I try to more or less, I kind of put it in my mind as a struggle that I have to do it on a day-to-day basis, getting through things and obstacles in order to achieve something. So a lot of times people they just go and they want to look around, talk, stand around there. I don't have time for all that. I'm trying to go just like in their way, a lot of folk talking, they ain't really about no business as far as getting it done. That's how I look at it when I work out. You're going to have people, they're not really going to really be about it. They're just going to sit around. They're going to just be doing something else. So I set my mind on what I'm going to do. Once I set my mind on what I'm going to do, I make it my goal to kind of break away to get through the end of it. I hate it. There's nothing I like. People say, what you like at the gym? I said, I'm leaving. Leaving is my favorite part. So I learned to get through things. And I say that because when you're going through this fight, there's no part of it that you like except for the times when you're not having to fight, when you got wins. When you have to go through things, but then you look at those things you go through actually build you to do something or get you to a place or a certain performance. So there's a purpose behind it. If you don't feel like there's a purpose in your servitude, a purpose in why you struggle, a purpose in why you go through things, a purpose in why you do it, then it's actually in vain. It's a matter of time before you stop. That's how I've been able to do this walk as long as I've been doing it, because it's a purpose. And you got to have a purpose. You got to have a made-up mind that you're not just in it, for the short haul. A lot of times people in it for relationships, people in it for getting out of trouble or trying to fix marriages or trying to buy a home or trying to get a job or whatever it is people might get. I'm in it for the saving of my soul. That was my end. I came so I could save my soul. That was my agenda. I ain't come to get no wife. I didn't come for no kids. I didn't come for no mother. I didn't come for my daddy. I didn't come for anything. I came for me. I was trying to get my soul saved. I wanted my soul saved. That's the only reason I did it. And that's why I'm still here now. I'm telling you, why people, I'm serious. Some of y'all are date, talk, marry, other things. Ask people really, why you here? I heard preachers say, come and I came. There's a lot of folks say stuff. You just go when people say something. That's a reason. You got to have a reason. You got to have a rationale for why you do stuff. Because if you don't, somebody persuade you, they'll move you. I'm being honest with y'all. You're going to get tested. If you're not here for the right thing or you're not here for the real reason, you're going to get tested. You're going to find you wasted time. You're going to say, I wasted all those years. You know why they wasted all those years? Because they didn't have a purpose. They finally hit them to realize it's not for them. You got to ask yourself, why are you here? What you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? Hello? All right. I did it one time years ago. I used to catch the motor bus, started catching the bus. I don't know, probably first grade, second grade. No, I walked first grade. Second grade, I was catching the bus. Not no school bus either. They don't believe me. Don't worry about it, because you ain't smart as I was. I can't help it because I wasn't mentally retarded. I know how to catch a model bus. It was 15 cents. My bus, I said, it's a C sign below. I thought that was the name of my bus. I got on that bus took me somewhere. I was just looking. I was that bus there riding. I said, maybe I started seeing something familiar. After a while, I realized I had to get off the bus. Now, I rode a little bit. But I got off that bus, and I walked and found my way to where I was going. That's why I tell y'all, make sure you know where you're going. I'm serious. I jumped on it, and I thought that was my bus. I didn't know it. Of course, I'm in the second grade. It said C sign. It had a sign in the window. So I always caught the bus right there. That bus came. It said C sign below. I never looked. I looked up there, and I thought that was the name of the bus. I didn't know it would tell me, look, nigga, look down here. That sign tell you where we going. And you know what happened? A lot of y'all and a lot of us, we've been sitting in places, and we never read the sign. That's just being honest. And then you have to really have your mind set to realize I'm going out the way and get off. Now, the other people were still sitting there. You know when I got off, nobody else got off. Anybody know why? You know how many people sitting around waiting on somebody else to get off? You got to make a decision. That was in the second grade. So, you know, all the way back in my life, you come back and you just start considering. You have to make a conscious decision for yourself to realize, although those other people were sitting there, and I was sitting there first because those people were sitting there. And I'm looking, I know this ain't the way my bus usually go. And eventually, I had to go ahead and pull that cord, and I had to get off. And them other people stayed on there. You ain't gonna believe it, because they were going where they wanted to go. Are you going where you want to go? Or you sitting around waiting on somebody else? Second grade, I never knew when I saw that then. I knew I was some kind of pissed though, but I had to get up and walk and find my way back across. But I was pretty good at navigating my way around a long time. Even though I was young, I ain't never been too many times been lost. You about count on one hand. I'm pretty good. If I see something, I pretty much can kind of pinpoint and kind of know how to move around. I appreciate Yahuah for that little bit he give me. But you really need to ask yourself, are you just sitting and you just riding? Or this way you going? Some of them see their friend on the bus. Some of them might see somebody else they know on the bus. Because you know them don't mean y'all going the same place. And you can wind up going to the same place, which will be the wrong place for you when you got your mind set on salvation. That's why you have to start looking at the people you interlock in your circle. Different things that you're allowed to attach yourself to. Because a lot of things will hinder you from where you're trying to go. Y'all understand that? See, you trying to grow, and there's other people trying to stunt your growth. See, people know how to manipulate you in small gestures in conversation. You'd be surprised how people get worked. A lot of people don't know. See, a lot of stuff, people don't even try it on me. You ain't going to believe it. You don't believe it. That's why people stay away from me. Because you know they realize he reads you too fast. I don't know how to read you fast. Everybody action, every tree going to show itself. I don't know how to read you fast. I done seen it before. You know how long it take me to figure out an apple is an apple? Why you figure that is? I dealt with so many apples, I can see them coming. Lemons, I never look at no lemons. Let me digest this for a minute and try to figure how this works. Don't take that long. You can read them, you pick them up, you already know where it is. That's how it's going. Y'all got it? And you got to be that same way in a sense to know, and you need to know yourself like that. You ever disappointed yourself? Anybody disappoint themselves? Anybody ever did harm to themselves? I ain't talking about necessarily kids, but, you know, doing things that put you back, you know, that become detrimental to you. Then you need to know yourself better. See, you don't, what happened, people tell you, don't let nobody, you know, people tell you, when you go to school, don't let nobody make no fool out you. Don't let nobody take, how many of y'all been told, don't let nobody take advantage of you. Don't let nobody make no fool out you. So how did you wind up doing that to yourself? Because the person they should have warned you about was yourself. See that? You were so busy. Me too. I was so busy looking to make sure nobody else got over on me. Make sure nobody made a fool out. Make sure I ain't come up short with nobody else. You ain't going to believe it. I want to show myself. I want to make a fool out of myself. That's why I'm here, people. I have an agenda. I have a reason why I'm here. Y'all got it? You're here for change. You came for something. Make sure you get what you came to get. Y'all got it? I like to reiterate that and reinforce that and ask you at the same time, why are you guys here? You need to know why you're here. I'm just checking. I just want to know if you're in the right place. That's all. Just want to check. They got some place you go to, they'll just check your information. And you think, these folks might think I'm stupid. I'm not. We just have to check. That's all. We just have to check. We just don't take it where you say, sir, you got an ID. So what do that mean for ID? Who else I'm going to be? That's what we saying. So we get your ID, you'll be exactly who you said you are. And that guy, your reason for that, why else would I be here? I'm just making sure you know why you're here. You'd be surprised how many people pop up in places and find they ain't even supposed to be there. I was in the driver license tag office. And line was a little long. I was seeing a lady walked out. She said, if you're not a Rockdale County resident, if you don't have your license, if you don't have proof of your residency and you're in Rockdale County, you cannot get a tag here in Rockdale County for another county. I said, that's a waste of conversation. I said, who is stupid enough to be sitting in Rockdale County line and they're not a Rockdale County resident? How about the folks in front of me? I watched them folk walk right. I said, you actually were in Rockdale County tag line trying to get a tag for another county? All of a sudden, they just walked out and told me. They made room for, I said, it really is some stupid people. So to say that too, when I say that, but you know what you found out? It's people out here that just doing things. Did they investigate? Did they check? Did they ask? No. And that's what happened to us a lot of times. You'll just be doing things because you never checked. You could be in the wrong place. And a lot of people in the wrong place in relationship, wrong place financially, wrong place, just in a lot of different areas. And you want to be in the right place when it comes to your mental state. That's a real critical situation, and people don't realize it. If you look at now, you find more people now needing therapists and psychiatrists and medication ever been in a lifetime. Ever been in a lifetime. I couldn't imagine nobody sitting down having a conversation with me about taking no medication. What you taking? Do you know how serious the world had become that they have convinced so many people that they have mental illness and they have all these different problems going on? For the life of me, I couldn't imagine it. The average person, people today are average. You just realize people register and people process stuff different. They have a science to how they categorize people and they put people in a lot of these little things. A lot of people just as normal they can be. I mean, you just do some dumb stuff I wouldn't do, but you're normal. Because the rest of these people out here do the same thing. You'd be surprised. Every person all these people do the same thing. The psychiatrists, the therapists, they all do the same thing. Nobody's doing nothing extraordinary. They actually not. They just frame your minds and put people in these categories and they get them. And people have bought into the hype. You got more people now bipolar. You got more folk bipolar than buy crack now. A true story. True story. I'd never seen in my life. I would come along, never met no bipolar. You know what I'm saying? They were bipolar, you didn't know it. They weren't bipolar. You convinced them into it. Listen, you want to watch some real good therapists, these preachers on Sunday. They work them too. Everybody play with your mental. I try to talk to you guys before I start dealing with the word, because it's important to find out, first of all, why you here? What you trying to do? What you trying to accomplish? I can help you depending on what you're trying to do. And honesty with yourself is going to be the first thing that you need to start doing. And making sure is this something that now, even if you're in the right place, is it something you want to do? Any of y'all have been to the hospital before? Did any of y'all went to the hospital who've been to the hospital not want to be there? See? So is that impossible? You're in the right place and you don't want to be there? That's stupid. They're in the right place. Why wouldn't they want to be there? I've been in the hospital. I didn't want to be there, and it was the right place to be because of what I had going on. So all these are things you need to answer, and they play a part on how valid you're going to allow the word to be for you. Because if there's any restrictions or hesitation that you have about it, what is I'm looking for? When you have like a hint towards something, hesitate about it, I take that. You know, it's gonna damper what you're trying to get. Y'all gotta remember something. We play games with our minds, so to say. while Yahuah is trying to direct our minds. You got a lot of things, you got a lot of different forces fighting you. And a lot of time when people don't recognize the different forces that they fight, they tend to lean into one, and next thing you know, you categorize, and next thing you know, you kind of out there. They got people that show you in satanic worship. Only problem I can't get, if you're not doing what Yahushua doing, what else would it be called? They'll convince you on the people who got the black cat, who spitting blood and everything else, but the folks banging and having sex in church and they really, what is this? Same thing. He told you if you rebelling, witchcraft, and you tell me I gotta go get a big black pot and a wooden stick, and I gotta for it to be satanic worship. See, they categorize things in a way. This is how you buy in the synopsis of that you are, quote unquote, mentally unstable, you have a problem. There are people that do have illnesses, and it's just sometimes it's the redirecting of people. That's how to redirect and the information that they've got. Because a lot of things that people have gone through or go through play a major part on how they process things, especially when it becomes to be damaging to them. Everybody don't process everything the same way. So there has to be a way to explain things to people, get people to see things to where you can try to change their reaction toward things. You got it? Or their involvement. Like with me, I didn't say a psychiatrist stop doing what I was doing. It's just he allowed me to see things, and I just redirected. Hello? And the average person, that's what they need, redirecting. When Yahushua met a man they would call a lunatic, and why was he a lunatic? Because he had gastrobypass, what you say? Gashing, cutting himself and doing the thing. It couldn't be restrained. They were but after Yahushua got through with him, he sent him to psychiatrists. He was clothed and in his right mind. See? It's all about redirecting. Redirecting. That's how I do. Some of it is just redirecting. And some people do need to be medicated and be treated. I'm telling you this because you need to consider what type of person are you? Are you a person that just need redirecting? Are you a person that need medication? Are you? What's your stability level like? Do y'all understand? This is a balancing act. Hello? Y'all remember seeing the people that would get up on the rope, tight rope? They called the rope tight. It couldn't be. They kept it tight. There's no way you could walk it. Because we get all that, you know what I'm saying? If it's not tight, you assume to fall. They keep it tight, and Yahuah keep it tight. So it's a balancing act. Because you got to juggle your life, your emotions, your feelings, your cares, your hurt, and you got to balance obeying the word. And it's tight. Hello? It's tight. Hello? So a lot of things you do going to play a part into. You think people like that probably walk those tightrope, you probably think they eat what they want to eat. Why y'all wouldn't think they probably pick out when they get through? Not conducive to what they're trying to do. And that, so what about their fears of height? A lot of things they had to get over. So this is what I'm trying to tell you, mentally where you need to be and physically. So I try to redirect y'all with getting y'all to do something different. Because as much as you don't want to believe it, fat ain't in. Fat not in for serving Yahuah. Because a lot of things that attack you, they'll take you down. I know in your mind. See, Christianity sold us into a lot of it. If fat is where it's at and fat going to still get it's not possible. It's just a lot of things you have to start looking at, how things come back to hurt you. Listen, you're in a warfare. You're in a warfare. I remember in the military, in the Navy, they started getting rid of some people. Years back, before I came in. You know why they got rid of some of them people? You ain't going to believe it was stupid. They couldn't swim. They thought it was ridiculous that you was in the Navy and you couldn't swim. They're like, for what? I'm on a ship. It's not impossible for the ship to go down. It's not impossible for you to fall off that ship. A lot of guys, they were pissed. A lot of people were pissed. They're like, that's stupid. Why'd I be swimming? It's possible. See, people want to live and want to be in something as long as they can do it to their ability and they're not forced to do something else. But when you come into Yahuah, a person has to actually look at you restricted. There are a lot of things you got to change because you got to look at the embodiments you got. A person that's going to walk tightrope got to consider how they walk. They got to be careful when they walk. You ain't going to believe it. You do too. Hello? You know what I'm saying? You got to balance, and you got to be able to balance too, don't you? You had to get over your fear. He said that you have fear, what's going to happen? Don't you know what happened? They got fear up there. What they fear going to be up there? Getting hungry? Passing gas? What's their fear? Of falling. That's the ultimate. So stay focused enough that they don't fall. How about you? Why are you not doing that? Because you're doing it at your convenience. It's not important. See, as long as you come and sit here and you listen, that's just like being saved. It's not. Saved has attributes. Hello? The Ruach had attributes, and you got to be able to demonstrate them. Hello? Okay. Wow. It's amazing. Well, as long as you're good with yourself, because we've been doing this for a period of time, and at some point you want to start looking at where's your growth level at. Hello? You should have some growth levels, shouldn't you? There should be some change, shouldn't it? All right, I'm just looking. We're gonna talk to y'all a little bit. Let's see. And I try to get y'all finished and get y'all out. So y'all don't fall out on me, start crying. Oh, he's talking about me. Now let's look. Listen.
For everything katab in the past,
Everything written in the past.
need katab to lamid us.
Everything. Everything he taught in the past was written in the past, was written to show us, to teach us, and to instruct us. So that
With the encouragement of the Tanakh, we
With-
might patiently hold
with the
on
law.
to our tikva.
See that? We might patiently hold on. So these are things, let me see. Just kind of thinking about, we hear it on a regular basis, you know, about the fundamentals, which are, establishing a foundation. And that's what we try to do when we come in, is establishing a foundation of where we are and what you're trying to do. Considering the type of person that we're serving, is very easy for a person to get off. And that will simply be because certain things in our law, if they're not honest, if they're not true, if there's stipulation that we hold to and they don't align themselves with the word, it'll show us. It'll show us to our own hurt. It'll never be to his hurt. It'll be to our own hurt. So it's so important for us when we come that we actually look at ourselves. While I'm talking, let's get Yahuah. They call James. You got time to be greeting somebody? Get in your seat, Joker. I'm talking about you, Joker. Come on, get in your seat, Joker. All right, come on. Don't drag the kid. So there's look at that, Yahuah 1 and seat 19. They call it James. Also, we might be expecting a visitor in a few months. I appreciate that member for helping us out, trying to get the membership up. Wherever that member at, special member. All right, 19. Yahuah 1 and 19. Nobody has no idea, do they?
Sin.
It's a good guess. We'll be looking. How many of y'all know she can do it? You got the power. Ain't that right? All right, listen. Therefore,
My dear Akeem,
what happened?
let every person be quick to shama, but slow to speak,
See that? And what else?
slow to get angry.
Uh-huh.
For a person's anger does not accomplish Allahim Sadiq.
So that's something we've been trying to work on too. For myself, I looked at making changes about that. I did. Simply because, not just because Jacob said this here and now. It just start looking at the energy we put out and what we actually trying to retrieve back. Y'all got it? So we want to look at that. That's important. Even with a boomerang, just because you throw it, it won't come back. That's a certain way where the force had to be thrown, and it pretty much doesn't come directly back to you, but it'll come back to a certain proximity. And that's what we're trying to look at now. We've been putting stuff out, but things haven't been coming back. Because if you take the boomerang shaped like this, and you take it, you throw it like that, where's it going? And that's where it'll stay. And that's where it'll stay. If you take it and just grab the end and throw it like this, it ain't going nowhere. It has to go with the angle, and when it goes out, it comes back around to a certain proximity. And with that, knowing that we've taken the Elohim is something that no matter how we put it out, it's just naturally things going to come back to us. A lot of things we put out hadn't come back to us because it's the energy we use, it's the force we use, it's the understanding we have of when we display it that we typically have been getting results. And our goal is to get results. Y'all got it? You'll see the PX90. Them guys will show you, and make no mistake, you can do it in 90 days, but what most people do, they're looking at the exercise. That's what they faint at. It's a diet they give you too. It's a real strict diet. That's how they get you. Everybody buy, they get the PX90, that thing get rusty. The PX, man, it's so bad that the man on the PX90 done got fat. They done made a sandwich out of the thing they eat with it because it don't work because everybody look for the shortcut. What's the easiest way to get something done? A lot of time it's shortcut, which means usually you leaving something out. Y'all got it? Usually you leaving something out. Got it? So when Mr. Yahuah, there's no shortcut when it comes down to your salvation. It wasn't none made on his end. They might say Yahushua did it, and he say he cut it short, and it was still Sadiq. But you got to look at it with the knowledge and look at how much already had been exemplified before he came. Look at how much effort had already been put in the years and the time. So it was just needful for somebody to just come through and just be the conclusion to it. Y'all got it? If I tell you to hear the conclusion of the whole matter, is that the whole conversation? That means some things were said before. The conclusion is, now I'm summing it up, correct? But the matter's already been done. I'm just getting you to the end. And when people see Yahushua, they're looking for shortcuts. There's no shortcut to salvation. You don't just walk in the door, Ruach HaKodesh, Holy Spirit. This is a time matter. Y'all got, that's why I tell you got to run the race with patience, because it's an endurance race. Y'all got it? Because it's constant, and it's constant changing. It's constant change. It's like when people work out, sometimes you do the same things, you'll plateau. And what happens, a lot of people from Ruach spiritually, they plateau. So you stop growing, that's when they quit. What you typically want to do when you plateau is start looking at changing what you do. You don't quit. I did that. That junk didn't work. How you did it? I did it for like a week. Wow. An exercise that designed to build something over a course of a year, you did it for a week and you didn't see no results and you stopped. And a lot of times that's how you serve too. You're looking for something quick, but you got to look at how many people came before you and how long it took them. Yasharal had to sit in Mizraim for 430 years. Go figure. And you tell me how long you been? 430 years? It couldn't be done shorter than that. See, it was needful. So when he would reference back to how he delivered them, they recognized him as the Elohim of Yasharal simply because how long we went through before you came. How long we suffered. How many people died along the way waiting for you to come. And now we finally achieved it. So it was a thing that people would hold to, and he would constantly emphasize which Elohim he was, the Elohim of your Abba, Abraham. So you go back to Abraham, Abraham was told about your suffering. So you didn't go through nothing. Now, although it was your affliction, you knew about it because it was already foretold to let you know I didn't get you to that point and did something the last minute. I purposed it so you know I could keep my word over a course of time. You quit, you faint, you stop because you feel like your situation it overwhelmed him and he can't answer. Elohim is still in charge. Yes, regardless of how the situation come out. There's always another situation you can get. Whatever your situation is, it's another situation you can get. How many of y'all going through anything right now? Talking about going through something. What would you be going through equivalent if you didn't have your leg right now, one leg? If you compare what you say you're dealing with now compared to if you lost one leg.
Not even the same realm.
He's saying in the same realm. The average person here the same thing. Who else is going through something? What would you be going through if you lost your son right now? What's the comparison to what you're going through if you lost? Y'all ain't gonna believe it. You know, right now, today, and Pop's right on screen, somebody just got their amputee today. You know, today somebody lost their son from a school bus wreck, from a car, from a gang shooting, from an accident or whatever it is. See, a lot of times we look at things we consider when that's all not criticize none of y'all because we all deal with things. But a lot of times you don't realize it's other situations. I just chose you for this situation instead of the other situation I put somebody in. How many of y'all rode on the expressway today? Y'all know how many people who got on that expressway and that was their last ride? You see it all the time. Car flipped over, truck done ran. You looking, you saying, and you ride slow looking at, oh my goodness. You ain't gonna believe it. You keep living, I'm gonna choose you for that situation. So what did that tell us? When we see things or we going through things, always consider there's another situation. There's another situation now. I chose you for this one. I let somebody else get the other one. Y'all gotta remember, Satan is the same man that was calling out for EU. Y'all remember that? And when Yahuah came against him, y'all remember what Yahuah told him? You called me to be against this man for no cause. So you think that's the only person he called him for? Somebody done made up their mind to live right. He ain't studying them. Somebody done made their mind to walk away from Kataim. Somebody done made themselves to get out of adultery. Somebody want to stop fornicating. Somebody want to start smoking. Somebody want to start drinking. Somebody want to start lying. Somebody want to live kudat. You think he ain't calling for these people? You think he not trying to move Elohim against these people? So you suffer. Even with EU, he told me at the first, he said, you can touch his stuff, but don't touch his hell. See that? As bad as thing got, you know what? He did more crime that came and helped than he did their family. On top of it, just weighed on him. It just weighed on him. When you going through, nobody want to hear that, he working it out. Like, man, I'd blow your brains out if I had a gun made. I'm talking about he working out, I'm saying I lost everything. I'm laying out here sick with boils all on my body. But look how he worked it out for him. I'm not telling you that as a story for you to get ready for that to happen to you, but I'm telling you for the reason of you don't know how he's considering how he's using you. You know what he got a lot of, he don't need? People that faint. Quitters. Short-term people. He don't have enough of them people. He's sick of them. He don't have no time for these people. He's looking for people who have an enduring attribute about them because he's going to give you an enduring substance. You don't get us the fainters and quitters and complainers and whiners. You want to get people that's willing to adjust the change. He said, I make it where my current be sufficient for you. You'll make it. You'll get through it. Whatever you're going through, you'll get through it. When it weighing is hitting on it, we all got to have them because all these things you deal with challenges you mentally, and mentally, this is why I try to change all and tell you about doing the things we're doing in the daytime, making these changes, doing them. Because whether you believe it or not, when you mentally are frustrated, it breaks you down physically too. Mental will beat you more than physical because you can't shake it. It's constantly weighing. It's like this heavy weight in your mind, and it makes your body not want to do nothing. It makes you want to just stop, separate, stay with, just don't do nothing, just deal with it and bask in it, and it breaks you down. Just like stress do, stress will put weight on. So you realize how important it is that he will tell you how I would above all things that you prosper and be in health. What was it? Because many things are weigh on you. You fighting a warfare. It's physical as well as ruach. So when you fighting these warfare, you have to prepare yourself. You think a boxer going there, he's just working his hands out? He got to make sure his stamina up. He's doing major crunches because he know I'm going to take a lot of body blows. There's a lot of things he's going to work on. He's going to work on his footwork. He's going to work on his time. He's going to jump. It's a lot of things he's going to do. He'll realize, I'm going to need all this when I get in there. He's going to work on moves of trying to block shots. There's a lot of things he'll learn how to take shots. All this he got to do, all this in preparation to win. Can you imagine that? To win, I got to set myself up to be ready to take shots. If I'm winning, I ain't looking to take no shots. If I'm winning, I ain't looking to get hit. I ain't looking to get tired because I'm winning. But to win, he has to practice to have himself beat and to try to push his stamina longer than he got to go in order to win. And you ain't going to believe it. You have no stamina toward winning. Your mind ain't even made up toward it. Your servitude don't ensure, and you want to know why you got knocked out. Yeah, that's where you're at. All right, come on. For a person's anger does not accomplish Elohim's Sadiq. So rid yourselves
of all vulgarity and obvious rosha, and receive meekly the debar implanted in you that can save your
vulgarity
kaid.
wasn't in the other one we looked in before. I think it says set aside all superfluity of naughtiness and receive with meekness the engrafted word that's able to save your, it just says all vulgarity and obvious rosha, and receive meekly the debar implanted in you that can save your kaid, your lives. What happened?
Don't deceive yourselves by only hearing what the Debar says,
What are you talking?
but do it.
And they put that exclamation point on that. That's what we fall short at. You hear, but you don't do it. Mimicking who? Got that hand up. All you do better stand up. Well, you don't see no hand. We got Lancaster. Let me get him. Yes, sir, Big Nasty. What you got? Who? The Pharisees. Tell me what the Pharisees did. They act like they want better. I'm going to get that check later, but I appreciate it, though. But at least you came out, though. That's all right. You jumped out there, so that's a half a check. But no, they're good. What you got? What shower did? Ask Chris why his hand up. Ask Chris why his hand up. No, yeah, Chris. He don't get a check. He don't get a check. I don't know what he's talking about. Ryan had raised his hand, but what you got, Ryan? Who? What called do? Oh, that's a good answer. All the answers, exact answers I ain't asked for. No, I'm not that good. I had somebody out there who I think he beat your hand up, Karen. What you got?
I think Pharaoh.
Pharaoh? What did Pharaoh do? No. Why you saying with Pharaoh? Because Mushah came and told him? I would say let him go. He didn't let him go. Not that one. Got another chance? No, I got Kiro him. Is your thundering, your ground about to be broken by a thundering sound? I got, come on, big man. I got to get that check. You just called somebody, they just called that wrong. Come on, big man. I got to get your man. I already knew. Ground was broken by a thundering sound. I asked him, pick up the piece and pass it. I know it. Big mama need that check. All right, Daniel, what you got? I know. I had another hand. What hell? That's slick right there. That joker had a hand full of that joker, sir. What you got, Ahad? Who answered? Oh, Yasharon. Okay, you back again. You already got one check coming. What you got, Ian? You know? Another wrong answer I don't want. What you got? All right, what you got? Your car's a call. Yep, that's what I wanted. What you hollering yeah for? You came the wrong. Well, he ain't said it though earlier. I'm gonna need that check. Come on, big man. Y'all come and put them checks up a bit, man. But and the reason why he told you about not being, I'm sorry, but do it, because we're looking at when he told them they come and sit before you as my people, they hear your word. He said, but they won't do it. So all these were based upon he looking at, you're talking to an audience of people. Hold what you got. Look at the first verse of the same book. That's who he's talking to. Sometimes you can individualize something. Sometimes you have to look at it as a whole. Y'all got it? So what we want to do, let's find out who is he talking to. How about that? That the first chapter? Listen.
From your code, a slave of Elohim.
But see, this when these folks start, right? These folks like this slave stuff. And you can use slave for the instance of, or to give an analogy, because a slave doesn't have rights. A slave is basically controlled and told what to do. So you could use that on the end of explanation when you're looking at being a slave too, because for us, we operate by what he tells us. Y'all got it? That's how our existence come in. He pretty much programs us. And that's what we do. You look at people outside, these are people, basically they just AI, they just artificial intelligence. Because real intelligence, he told her this was your intelligence and this was your wisdom in the sight of Goyim. See, whether these people follow us or not, make no mistake, they're watching us. That's why we had to make these adjustments on the conversation or word. I'm telling you, listen, nobody else, where are they getting it from? The news? The politicians teaching them how to live? No, nobody's, listen, they can't get it but by us. Make no mistake, these people watching us. You think people going to tell you they watching you? You think they're going to tell you I'm setting my watch by you? I'm watching my character by you. I'm learning what's wrong with me. Even though I'm not making the changes, I'm seeing it right before my face. Why y'all think these people put stumbling blocks in front of y'all? Because they don't want to say. In the 30th chapter 30 and 8, you had to get a Yahuah that car Isaiah. He said, now go write it before them in a tablet and note it in a sefer, that it may be for the time to come that this is a rebellious people. He told it was Kazab. He said, Benin that will not hear the Torah Elohim will say to the seer, which will be the Nabal. See not, they tell, and to the Nabaim, they didn't want them to Nabu a right thing. He said, listen, tell us smooth thing, Naba deceit, get you out of the way. That's what people, what you think they were trying to do with Yahushua? Listen, they were saying to the seer. So this is what you ask yourself. Let me tell you, come on, Father. Now you think about this. This man, can you see me? Yes, sir. Let them see. Come on, this way. I want you to follow my hand. He can see. Y'all got it? See not. How does he not see? I'm going to blind his eyes. That's why I put a blindfold on Yahushua. And then they asked him, I want you to turn around and Naba to see. I'm going to give him the Naba to see. That's why they struck him and asked him, who hit you? Who hit you? That's why they put him there. That's how people do you. Let me tell you something. This is why y'all mess up at perfect example. Like y'all on these jobs, y'all screwed up bad. Because these people got you out the way. Now they told get you out of the way. Turn out of the path. So what path would that be on? Straight. Straight path. You see how important it is? That's why y'all think these people work you. I be on my job. It's like the people on my job don't like me. I wonder why. Why y'all think people don't like? Why you think your family don't like you? Because they can set their clock by you. Everything we do wrong, huh? Everything we do wrong. Why? Because they watching you. They wouldn't come up on their own and say it wrong. It's only because of you. It's only because of what you believe and what you do. That's why I told you we energy force it, because somebody that's trying to obtain or like manifestation is going to watch us. They're going to clue in. They're going to get it. And you know what happened? It's going to be a problem for the others. That was the problem with the people of Yahushua. You got to keep seeing that man work. He didn't do a whole lot of talk. In fact, you got to keep seeing it work. Woman said, hey, y'all, I ain't bleeding them. I was bleeding for 12 years. I spent everything I had going through this. I wish she shut up. She got on my nerves so bad. Every time another guy there, man, you ain't gonna believe it. Man, I used to be so crazy, man. Leo, remember, I used to chain me up, and I used to tie my clothes. You like, man, you need to shut up, Tommy. This the man work talking. Because he'll never tell you. He let somebody else do it. See, people tired of seeing the work. When people tired of seeing the work, you want them out the way. So people get you out of the way, and you fall for it every time. So people gonna set a stumbling block. I don't know why. Don't set your set of thing. But listen, I got used to people not liking me. It works better. I'm expecting you not to. And if you do, if you don't, it don't make no difference. I ain't gonna change. I'm the same person. I already know what I ain't gonna do in the first place, and I know what I'm gonna do. So it's important for y'all to realize you put you somewhere, it's because you're supposed to manifest something, not error. Y'all got it? A lot of times we all want to be in other places, want something. You know, I want to be somewhere where people don't get on my nerve, where folk don't make me upset, where people don't piss me off, where I don't have to go through so much with people. He said, well, you want to be dead, huh? Now I don't give them testify, church, I feel like I'm dying. Well, I ain't no other place to put you. Out of your own mouth, you said, what? You're supposed to be our or, so where am I going to put you at? Where Kashak is. Because a manifestation is needed. Think about this. What changed us? You remember what you were doing when you first heard me? Back when you heard me, what was you doing, Sweetie? Smoking? See that? And let me ask you, what convinced you to give up smoking? You remember?
The word.
Yeah. So all of us consider, so she found something that came. You know how important it was for me to be an or at that time? Had you been planning on quitting before that? Had you been thinking about, I just need to quit. This is my last one, but something happened. Manifestation. Y'all say I'm pointing there for us to not, but when you waver, when you quit, when you faint, when you give up, I ain't like I'm no preacher. But you still can be a light. And the fact that you don't have to do all those things negative, just one or two, and before you know, your power to manifest, you lost. See, if any of these people are going to get it, they're going to see it. They have to see it through us. They don't see it through other people that's going to catch it from. Hey, y'all how many of y'all seen like, how many of y'all remember like counters on the cake? Have you ever seen that stupid thing? Light a candle. You take that candle and you start touching it. What in the world that's about? Why you don't just use that light and light? Because you say it's going to burn the light out. Once I light one of the candle, I put it up. I just touch it, get that one. Guess what you supposed to be doing? And you want him to keep using the lighter. He said, I'm the lighter. If I'm going to use the lighter, I don't need you. I'm going to use you to spark somebody else. The lighter kicked on when I hit you. Now I need you to go and touch somebody else. That's why I talk about energy for. But when we don't see it that way, we don't understand things, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Everywhere you get, this don't make no sense. It's a stupid thing in the world. Why other folks ain't got to do that? You ain't going to believe why they ain't got to do that. You ain't going to believe it. What? How y'all know that? I ain't teach you that. I know somebody, they on their job, they don't go through that. They don't deal with none of the stuff I deal with. My job, worst job in the world. Hey, listen, they ain't got no problem. As soon as you go to that job, you ain't going to believe it. But I wonder why. See, it wasn't no problem for them because they darkness too. You ain't gonna never you know who don't never complain about darkness. Y'all ain't gonna believe them. How y'all know? I ain't never taught y'all that. Y'all ain't never went out there to the dark and said, whoo, can somebody bring a light out here? I'm sick of dog. Light fine. I mean, darkness fine. Why would darkness have a problem with darkness? Until you get there. So if you don't start processing things with a certain attitude of thinking, you lose every time out here. He's got to put us somewhere where things got to spark back. I had to do an inspection today, and the inspector came, he was pissed. I called him, he came, he was pissed. He failed me. He failed me. He did. He was pissed. I told him, I said, the reason why this done is, I'm explaining to him why. He said, what's, you need, I said, okay. I was done. So the person who did it, he said, tell him I want to apologize. I said, you don't have to apologize. I said, don't worry. I said, listen. Nothing he can do can stop me. I said, listen to me. He hasn't stopped no work. I said, everything work out the exact way it's supposed to work out. I told him just the flat. He said, I really like your attitude. I said, listen, you don't have to apologize. I said, everything happened for a reason. I said, he ain't stopping no work. We'll get it done tomorrow. Not a problem. Call later and listen. Set the inspection up tomorrow. I have it done. Y'all ain't going to believe I got a text message. You know what he said? I passed you. I said, want to do it? I told him, I said, I refuse to argue with the person. I told her, I said, I wasn't going to argue with him. I said, it ain't worth my time. I said, because the energy time I'm going to blow up on this, I just get it done. It ain't that serious. They know me enough to know how I operate. That's what made, I'm like, I can't believe you did this because you know me. You know how I operate. This is simply done. If I tell them I'm going to do something, listen, I expect it. If I tell them I'm going to do something, listen. They don't even check. I had to send it to them. They said, I already know how you operate. I already know. He hit me back and said, I passed you. I said, see that? Now I could have cut the food with him and had it out, got everything shut down because he figured, you know what? I'm going to ride the rest of this project and I'm going to make this miserable for you. We just started looking at energy for us. On his own, he had to call back and say, tell me and say, I passed you. Don't even worry about it. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but I appreciate Mr. Yahuah for he put me in a different state of mind to look at, why waste up a whole lot of time with people? I look at, I've been guilty. I'm telling you, I have been guilty. I waste a lot of energy and time. And me and him could have, the old times we'd have had it out right there. He'd have had a nice whole conversation to go with this. And I told the whole county what they could do to get where though. And somebody else who really needed to get illuminated would have been damaged. See what I'm saying? For all of us, even for me, it's a learning lesson. If we don't change how we operate, we ain't gonna get nothing done. We're gonna keep getting further and further behind. I've been behind, you've been behind, everybody gotta get ahead. Did you ever put that check out? You didn't? When you put it up now? I don't remember. I'm telling you, you remember we do this for? I'm saying, you know Bible? You know book? I'm just asking, do you know the book? You like to think you do. There was a time, one time, in the 7th chapter of the book of Yahuah, Yahushua was supposed to go up to the feast. Here's our king talked with him. I'm trying to think, do you remember what they told him? He said he went up to the feast, they don't believe. Unless I see them check, I ain't gonna believe. Okay, before you go though. Well, fell ground was broken by a thunder and sound. Pick up the pieces and pass. You don't need that. I ain't see you either. I ain't see y'all. I can only go with what I see. Come on. No, unless y'all want me to take y'all word. Yeah, okay, I just checked. I wasn't going to take it. It's just good everybody gets seen. That way nobody have no problem. Isn't that right? I might have seen it this time. But y'all understand how important, and those that me watching at home, please don't take that for no message for the way of y'all. This is for everybody. It's for everybody. We just got to start looking at just as well as we can give life, we can also ish out moot. Because these still energy forces that you're giving. Either you're taking away or you're giving. Y'all get it? Because he told us Yahuah giving and still energy forces. Still energy source. He said I can use it in a negative, I can use it in a positive way. How many times we use our more for the positive instead of the negative? Typically, when people get us an opportunity and put us in a situation, we always go to the negative. Because we never start looking at, let's see how things work out. Let me tell you something. We've been dealing with Yahuah long enough. Let me say that for me, speaking for me, for several of us in here. We've been in this relationship with him. We've been in this situation where we've been constantly, getting the bar to where we should be adjusting and moving further. Even in the book of the 6th chapter, I think, and in the book of Abarim, they call Hebrew, it's talking about let us move on to perfection, not laying again the foundation. Because you only put a foundation down once, unless you're going to build something else. So a lot of times we got to see how many times we keep rebuilding, keep laying the same foundation. Y'all got it? Well, we keep going back to the principal things. At some point we have to judge. He said, and let's move on to perfection. Like we try to move, and we look at Yahushua as being somebody who was perfected. Foundation for him when he was born. We're going to see him laid on with a diaper on? We're going to see laid on with a tit in his mouth? No, we can't do that because he told him who was going to teach knowledge. Da'ah. To who? Wean from the breast. That's right. He got rid of it. He said because everybody that uses milk, that's what he said. So how much ability do you put into a baby's doing that's on milk? I'm talking about the bottle. I know some people now, bigger kids can, have a glass of milk. We're talking about the bottle. Typically when they look at milk, how would they get it from the bottle? They're getting it from the tit. So how much ability or how much responsibility we're going to put on somebody on the tit? Well, a lot of us want responsibility. We want Yahuah to put more things in our hand. But where you at? Thank you, sir. Most of them want to on the tit. So how much can I give you? See, all the things he give us are illustrated in a way where we have an understanding. Y'all got it? He talked about, you ain't going to believe this. Let me break for a second. I'm just struggling to pick this up. Lift it up like this. Lift it up like that one. No, hold it. Then fold your hand up. Lift it up like this. Do it like this. Do it like this. Then come here. Now go put that check on that boy. I said, struggle. What are you doing? Come on, big man. Get out of here. What big man doing? I said, struggle. That man sitting here in my face like this. He said, struggle. My fellow ground was broken by a thunder sound. So we look at, he talked about what I was going to use the illustration of. He talked about if a person faint in the day of adversity. What did he say about him? Strength is small. So he was measuring your ability. See, we don't realize a lot of times he's been measuring us. Sometimes we'll work going to the gym, as people you'll put on a plate. I put on a plate, 2 plates, it's 135. They couldn't lift it. I said, don't worry about it. Took it off. I put 2 35s on now. They couldn't get that. I said, don't worry. I took it off. I put 2 25s on now. They couldn't get that. I put 2 10s on now. I said, just don't worry about it. I said, I couldn't find them. I said, I don't know where you at. I said, this is going to be a fight. I said, when I put 2 10s on here, I don't know what we're going to do at that point. It was just killing time. But to say that you saw their strength was small. So in using that, just that example, 2 10s on the bar for the mentality, this is like almost ridiculous. This is something Deuce ought to be able to pick up. But I mean, that's not, because everybody where they at. But he looked at, when adversity situation comes, that's when your strength got to show up. So how much weight would you give a person to work out if they can only lift a bar with a 10, big grown man? What you going to do with him? I don't know if I get him push-up. Because you can't do the bar and 2 10s. I don't know if push-up going to work. Your back going to probably be jacked all up. You're probably like a rolled out mule with the belly hanging on the ground. But just saying, and here's for example, the thing becomes, because of what you're manifesting, it's not a whole lot you can do. You got what I'm saying? Because of how limited you are. So this is what Yahuah do with her. Soon as something comes, I say, you know what? Something might get, and then she loses it. And that kills her. At that point, we see our strength small. How much, you know, and then she might sing a song. You ain't gonna believe the name of the song called Use Me Anytime. Anytime you need me, Lord, use me. He said, I just tried. Your strength is small. See, for all of us, even for me, we starting now to measure ourselves by something different. Like people do. People they see weight, look, they'll go, they want to weigh themselves so they know exactly how much it is. How many, if you got weight loss, how many of y'all don't want to know? You say, I don't want to know how much I got. I'm just losing weight. You typically don't want to, you see something different. You say, I'm finna go, wait a minute, I need to know what I've done. And that's an achievement, right? So then look at this, what he's looking at. He's trying to get you to see whether or not you're gaining. Not getting fat. For us, gaining is losing because you're losing the mindset of the alarm, which is of the world. You got it? So you can see the change that they start to manifest. Like a person, you say you're losing weight, the same tight shirt. You know what I'm saying? The same bust, it's I don't see it. So it's got to be demonstrated somewhere. So this is what we learn when dealing with Yahuah. He wants us to demonstrate what we have. If there is a change, I need you to demonstrate it. If there's growth, it needs to be seen. If you are or, then you need to be light in the room. But a lot of times we don't focus on that because we put in our mind or we look at our groups and people get us to buy into the mindset of what we're not. You know how to be a preacher? You know how to be a preacher? All you got to do the will of Elohim. Somebody see you. None of y'all are cool, ain't never been approached by nobody in the street before. They ask y'all was a preacher, they asked you because they saw you, they could tell something different. They said, you got to be a preacher. I'm about to come to you with that. I don't know why people are saying that. People ain't looking for preachers. People looking for examples. You know, they feel like the average preacher's a con. That's right. Yep. Man, you go tell you're a preacher for a con. Yep. What you want? I know you got the tire tray in the car. Yep. All y'all have, because that's the mindset. I don't argue people. That's what you at. And you can't get mad because that's what we've allowed to be out here. Because nobody's talking again. I won't fight against another man of God because I'm a crook too. It's Elohim gonna be doing. He gonna do the works of Elohim. But we don't get enough understanding about why we get put in position. How many of y'all looking for growth? So why you think you need going? Some of y'all that raised your hand, what any of y'all the people that say you were going through something? Grow. Depending on how you come out. So how is he going to give you growth? Because we told you to grow in Con. Con is the favor. How you going to get the favor? You got to go through, and you got to do the will of. You know, Yahushua said that Abba had never left him alone, which means he was in the Con of. So when you going to get it? When you going to get it? Because he said, I do always the things that please him. What's your testimony? I ain't going to say always. 50-50? 10-90? 397? The 97 what you ain't doing, the 3 what you think you bringing up, and you probably less than that. That's for all of us. It's time to go back and reexamine, reassess what we're doing. Because we have a mentality, but a lot of time it holds us back. It's time to change. I look at it, man, it's just time to get a different way outlook of looking, because we're looking at what we're trying to do. You want to be somebody he can use, you got to be somebody that avail themselves. That's why he was able to use Yahushua. He was available. Hello? He had a feast. He told them about they had a feast, and they invited some people to come, and they couldn't come because they had other obligations, not available. That's how he was trying to get them to see. One had just taken a wife. He just could not come. Another one had bought some land. He must need to go see it. Another one had bought some ox, and he need to go and he need to prove them. He said none of them were worthy. You know why? They weren't available. See, the people he went and got were people that was available. So you want to know when you're going to get saved, when you're going to get his Ruach HaKodesh. He want to know when you're going to be available. When are you available? Sometimes you fill out for a job. You know, they'll ask you for some dumb reason. What's your day's availability? You ain't going to believe it. Why? Some dumb reason, depending on what day is your availability, I ain't even going to hire you. And you know how stupid you look when they ain't called you, ain't hired you, and you're dumb behind walking around here with a uniform trying to portray yourself that you work for this company. Your availability schedule wouldn't allow me to hire you. But never looked at it like that. You know what you'll say about somebody else you've seen doing that? Now, look at this right here. This is from Yaakov, a slave of Elohim, which will be an abad, a servant, and of the Adon, Yahushua, the Mashiach, the anointed one. Listen, to the 12 Matah in the, what's that, diaspora? Shalom, which is peace, health, prosperity. All these three things are inside of what you're saying. It's important for us to know that. Regard it all as, I think it's Shimcha. Shimcha, S-I-M-C-H-A-H. I think it's Shimcha too. I want to say it is. Don't hold me to it. You try to say it. Is it? Oh, who said that? Come on, big man. I ain't got no business being right. Come on, him. When and me and you start agreeing together. Come on, big man. I know, man. Come on. But I still need that check, though. Come on, though. That's good, though. Shimcha, I think it's Simcha? Is it Simcha? S-I-M-C-H-A-H? Okay, Shimcha. Ashley, you right. Okay, Shimcha. That's it. Exceeding gladness, joy, joyful milk, pleasure, rejoicing. Y'all got that? Simcha. So he just told you to count it all joy, count it all gladness. Listen to this, and this is what we don't do. Listen to this. Let's go back. Regard it all as Shimcha, my
king.
When you face various kinds of
Temptation.
For you know that the testing of your trust, I think it says your faith in them, produces perseverance. So you're not going to believe why y'all going through. So you can get the perseverance. Think about it. And this is what we don't look at. We handle that. Everybody, I ain't like, I want days of just, man, everything great. But how that work for my perseverance? Especially when you think about this. I'm getting ready to go through, well, not just me. He said it's going to be the tribulation. He told us to allow that you be counted worthy to escape it. How bad they going to be? So what kind of exercise they need to do? Party harder, lay back, relax, and getting it. He told me to come. He told me to flee to the heart. What's your regiment? What's the regiment? Tribulation. What's the regiment? Endurance. What happened? So we got to start looking at what's the regiment? Because now this not like that. Because you think about it, as a human being, this don't make sense. Why would I be? Because I've seen this as a Christian before. Why would I be celebrating? Why would I be joyful? Why would I be glad about temptations? Because these are things now I beat that I used to fall for. Like at least I used to fall for anything. Now I'm standing for them. See, all these things we're looking at, and that's going to be through what? That's through the temptation. Somebody like, he want me to be saved, and he need to get this stuff around me. No, it don't keep, everything stay exactly where it's at. I need you to be different. See, what we fail to forget is your obligation. I told you, this will hurt all of us, including me in the past. We fail to forget we all have an obligation to each other. Everybody does. We all have an obligation to each other. White, black, Chinese, Asian, Mexican, Indian, whatever. We all have an obligation. As human beings, we have an obligation to each other. We do. And if you didn't, why would he make you light for somebody else? Let's go with what I just made. Let's go with I'm just a liar and I made that myself. So where I'm putting this light at? Where I'm putting the light? Where other lights? Where does this light go? Darkness. And those darkness, where it's going to be literally darkness, or they're going to be people that's contrary. So I'm light being put somewhere in darkness where people contrary, meaning I have a obligation to them. I guess. F them all. Why would he be making you light? Because we all obligated to one another. I mean, we hadn't looked at it that way. Where's he putting you at? We know Yasharal, we know Yehuda's Barit covenant that he vowed with them, but yet he told him he's bringing the other Goyim. So how these other Goyim gonna get it? The rejection that came up from the Yahudim to Shaul sent him to what? The other Goyim. Because he had an obligation to these people. Nobody can control their birthright. You don't control what pattern, when time you born. All that's already been predestinated and set. So he uses people, and we understand that. If we had opportunity, who wouldn't be first if the first going to be the inheritor? But then he show you how things can fall down to you through other people. There were first, he said there were going to be what? And that was last. And we didn't understand that before until we found out Yahuah and Asu. Because Asu was first, and what was he? Last. And Yahuah was what? Last. And what was he? How else we understand it? That don't make sense. I can't come in first place and be last. That makes absolutely no sense. Because I'm going to think of it like, if I'm in a race and I win the race, I'm the first one to win the race, then I'm first, I can't be last. But if I won by default, if I won and there was some stipulation that came in that took it away from me, then it goes to the next person. Yes, sir. Hello? It got to be passed down. Y'all got it. And those stipulations that we wound up impeding upon gave opportunity for other people to get in. And with all that happening, it still showed you the fairness of Elohim. Think about it. If you weren't born of, nobody can pick what race they're going to be born in. A parent can pick, well, I'm not going to marry somebody race so my child could be this, but somebody had to give you that mindset. And it still won't get you in. Y'all got it? So that's why we looked at what we obtained by him. When you understand when something by favor and not by your ability, do you know what you have to have? You ain't going to believe it. A little more humility. When your teacher gets your paper and you know you fail, but I'm going to grade you on the curve on this one and get you out. You can get up and start running your mouth to other kids. Tell them how dumb they are. Y'all just dumb and stupid. You can't do that, not when you fail. And yours was great on the curve. That's why when it comes down to salvation, we can't boast about it. Because if you actually look at it, you actually didn't obtain it the way you think you did. It was actually a favor. Like folks say, I did you a favor. I did you a favor. And think about it. That would produce a humility. But when we see it as something that we've done of ourselves, it's not. If I run real fast, I'd be like, that's not no humility. But if I was given something based off of somebody else's failure, now look at, in actuality, I shouldn't have won. But because of a technicality, because of another way it was looked at, I obtained this. This is the thing that we all have to consider. Even the people who got it by birthright lost it. Like Asu. It could be that easily lost. Other than him giving it up, because he was put in a crisis. None of us can be put in a crisis. None of us can be put in a situation. So when Yahuah get it, how much boasting and bragging could he actually brag about it? Yahuah let him know, Asu, I hate it. I'll harm Yahuah. So Yahuah could boast and brag about what? Absolutely nothing. Because somebody else had it before me. That's what I told y'all. Can all y'all stand right now? Y'all ain't gonna believe it. Somebody else can't. Y'all can sit down. So you be able to, he took it from somebody else. See, I'm telling you, if you don't start looking at this thing a different way, a lot of us are not going to really be appreciative. I start to appreciate that another man's life is taken, another woman's life, another baby's life is taken. That's how you got yours. Somebody else lost walking, so you can get it. Now I'm saying, it ain't this bag of walking he got. It ain't these bag of eyes. Everybody get a set. No. That man told you, I make the halt. That person you seen like that, you said, what in the world that undid? Yahuah. That person that like that right here. He said, I make them 4 times fair. I don't know why in the world I was like this. I don't know how. When Talmudim asked about the man, they said, who did Qatar? That this man was what? But Yahuah already told in the book of Allah Shamu. He said, I make the blind. He said, don't I do all these? He said, I make man mouth. You been able to speak? He said, I do that. And people go to speech therapy and speech pathology, with a pathology, is it? Yeah, and think these people actually help them. Yahuah get that to you. See, he does it because, you know what? We tend to think things are a given. That is ours. These are loaned. These are loans. Y'all got me? The man is loaning us something. We've seen this before. When we talked about when Shemuel, when his mother took him up to the Beth Elohim, and he had to stay with Ali, and he looked that she would come up every year from year to year and bring him a coat she had made, and he told her, Yahuah Baraki, and for the loan, give you another one for a loan. Because you loan me this, so he give you another one. Because this one ain't come back. You lost this one. He got to give you a loan, which means somebody else got to lose one. Y'all understand how this whole thing works? When you start to appreciate the fact that this, you control nothing. You're not pissing on yourself right now, not because you're cognate, not because your kidneys are well, it's because he doesn't allow. Y'all know how many people are sitting in hospitals waiting for a kidney? And when they get it, their body's going to reject it. Because you know what? I refuse for you to have a kidney. Because for you to have a kidney, you know, it come from somebody else, I got to take one from one of the Kodashim. And they praying, and they wondering, and they said, life ain't fair. It don't make sense. Everybody else got a kidney. And Yahuah said, it's as fair as I can be with you. I determine in my law you won't get one. I determine you to stay blind. I determine you to be mute. I determine you to be crippled till you go to the grave. And it's unfair and unreasonable. People might see it and question why other people have it, because Yahuah have recall on whom he will. That's why the man tried to speak shalom to you. Shalom. Because he already know it come from Yahuah. It come from Yahuah. Just like the taking of what you got. Start looking at it as Satan coming and doing something. And ain't not a dead man. Satan can't do no more than he let him. He had to take the hedge around you. But you got to think, when your life stays, so don't think, well, if I stay good at two shooting, that won't happen. I still need to use you. It's all about availability. Your availability is going to play a part on whether or not he can use you. And when you got a lot of things going on, a lot of other commitments, a lot of things doing, I just been, it's only so much he can do with you. You're going to get some part-time hours. I'm trying to do 40 hours, but you got too many things you're going. Your schedule it conflicts. Y'all got it. And you got to start looking at how much do you really value your time. And a lot of it is through our knowledge, because we don't really look at considering he needs to use. Somebody needs to see you fall. And it's embarrassing, and it's a hurt to you. But you know what he don't look at? You fall, hit the ground, and you lose. You know what he going to tell them? You ain't going to believe it. Look how he's standing. Look how she's standing. Because they didn't veer for me, though. See, in the coming the day of my part, he going to need some people that didn't veer. Because he can't condemn these other people if we did the same thing. These people got excuses. He told they're going to say, have we not nobbed in your name? And in your name, have we cast out Shadim? He said, then I'm going to profess before them. Don't y'all know if people doing some of the same work we're doing? He never said those people were lying about doing the work. Those people said they did it in his ship. They ain't said no name of no Jesus. He said, but I'm going to tell these people I never knew you. All of your work was iniquity. It was transgression. That's what we can't afford to have happen to us. So we consider. We consider while we're able, while we're on this side, get it right. Start processing why we need to do things, why you need to follow, and what intentment you need to have. What's your purpose? What's your real goals and ambition? It's nothing wrong with getting things in life and having things. I told y'all the problem becomes when things have you, because you be overly committed. It's just certain things you can't do because of your commitments. And you know what? The people say, well, that's why I don't try to overly commit myself, but you can't get over your attitude. You can't forgive nobody. This is a scheduling conflict. Huh? Let me borrow it for a second, man. You don't like that? Forgive me right now. There's some people saying, not me. I'm one of them people, I got to wind down. Well, I had to sit down, you know what I'm saying, and kind of really process what happened. In a couple of days, I'll be good. Then mean you be straight. And you know what they say? I can't use you. I need somebody who can do it like this. That's who we hire. I need somebody if I tell them to do it right now. I need somebody who can do it just like this if I tell them. Stop it. I tell them it don't work. How long it took me? Quick. What you gonna do? I'm a slave. The man tell me stop. What you gonna do? Because he needed somebody to see that who say, you know what? I'm struggling. And you know what he said? I can't use you. Because you're struggling because you got something you're still trying to do. I'm tired of struggling. Whole end of struggling, I got some stuff I still want to do. And guess what? I can't use you. For everybody, that's what he want. That's what he want. It's just like a boss. You're a boss. You had somebody hit you real good. And somebody in your corner trying to tell you something. And you focus on, I'm pissed by that hit. You got to get out, and they tell you that you're going to get focused on what I'm telling you. That's how I want you. But when you mad about something, I'm focused on getting you back right now. I deal with what I'm going to deal with later. You ain't going to believe it. He said, go ahead, because I've been cut you. I'll let you go. See, think about it. He done dealt with us long enough. He don't need it. We've been those people all our lives. All we did was come and learn how to come in here and be undercover with it. We just a little nice and slicker with it, and now we keep you back. But he looking for some people that can, get what? Lay aside. Lay aside. Lay aside. It's a way. I had somebody try to cut a conflict with her over 30 years. We ain't talk at all. I went to see her. I need to do that. I ain't had no. When I tried to forgive people, I meant that. I got pushed out, gonna prove it too. I was good. She moved on now. Yahuah saw fit to move on to the other side. I said, I'd rather be me forgive somebody had to forgive me, and I'm gone on. It ain't worth it. That stuff ain't worth it. Seems like it is, but you waste a lot of energy and time, and people really ain't thinking about you like that. But you'll hold some stuff that really ain't beneficial to you, and get what? At that time, he can look at that. I'll be honest with you. I can't use you. I can't use you. You can try to do Michael Jackson, oh, baby, give me one more chance. I mean, I can't use you. See, when you start looking at considering your life ain't not your own, and that's something I had to consider, all I need to consider, your life not being your own is exactly that. That's everything you got. When he won't, he take it. Somebody else needs something too. Somebody else needs something too. You got to take it from somewhere. Take it from us. Let somebody else have it. I'll come back and give you something better. But if you know me, if you were accustomed with him enough, well enough with it, you understand that. Before you doubted him. Before you questioned him. And took on acceptance. Come on, he's going to give you something. Look at what Yahushua came out here and done. Did he get something equal to what he did? Similar? What did he got? He inherited all things. See that? We needed what he had. He needed somebody that was willing to give up a life. Life for life. Look what he obtained. Now the man along. What if he did like us? I mean, Jerry, let me get your life. What's going to be like? I ain't trying to die. Because that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to die. You ready to die right now? Guess what? Yahushua was. So me and you, he couldn't use us for that. Give availability. No doubt you got something to do. You got kids. You got a wife. Availability. See? He needs somebody that got availability. Now, I ain't saying he going to necessarily ask you for your life, but I'm going to need some work. I'm going to need somebody to put in some work. You know what gangs don't do? Let you join them and you do nothing. You got to immediately start putting in work. You got to earn your stripes. You got to put in work. Hello? All right, just trying to help y'all out. I remember when I joined went straight out that night. You got to put in work. So this is what he asking you. When you going to start putting in work? Earn your stripes. I know you're going to be like some other people. You're going to be claiming. You claiming for the fame, ain't you? You ain't actually in it. There's a lot of folks, I'm crippled, I'm blood. You probably crippled up. You probably bleeding. You not one. Some guy want to be Sereno or something. He wants you to act like, then you ask her, my cousin won. My friend cousin won off. So that's so far removed from you, it's ridiculous. Y'all got it. So now he looking at, we trying to claim Yahudah, but then he looking for somebody that actually put in the work for it. Salvation. Only the difference with people that obtain salvation are people that's taking a certain measure in life. Y'all got what I'm saying? There are a lot of requirements when it comes down to obtain the Ruach HaKodesh, and these people have met those requirements. Y'all got it? They went through the struggle. They went through the suffering. They persevered. They've been tested and tried. That he know for himself, that he know for a certain that these people are whole. Now there have been some that have tasted, they have fallen away. They weren't filled. So all these things you have to consider when you get it. Like a lot of people say, when I get it, then I'm good, I'm in. You still got to be careful because he's definitely going to try you now. You're going to be tried because everybody keep thinking, who wouldn't come to it if you got it, then all your suffering was over, you were here? Who wouldn't be saved if saved folk never got sick? Who wouldn't be saved if saved folk were never broke? If saved folk never got evicted, saved folk never got a car repossessed, saved folk never had something break down, saved folk never even break a fingernail, saved folk don't sweat, saved folk don't stink, Saved folk don't need no gas, they cause you keep going. Who wouldn't be saved? You couldn't keep people away from the thing. It's the fact of, see, this is the draw come in and where he can get the honest and sincerity. Because you have to really look at a man and wonder, what will make you want to suffer? Because I consider the later. Y'all got it? I'm considering the mosh pot. That's what I take it now. Nobody of their own mind or court would just take this on. It's because you're going to measure it against something. Isn't that right? It ain't no supernatural thinking. It's just the common sense if you look at it. I'm suffering now, but it ain't going to be compared to what's going to happen later. The fact that I have an understanding when I go through beats out anybody else that's going through anything, regardless of the situation, because I know he's trying me to test me to show I've been proven enough that he said I can claim you for my own. Hello? Does it make sense to y'all? Yes, I don't know, some of y'all don't like y'all getting it, but it's definitely one of them times where you really need to consider. All of us, we need to consider why you're here. What you trying to do? Where you trying to go? And what are you willing to do? Hello? Okay. Let me tell you something. Some of your tests, some things you go through ain't even a test. Some things you go through are more, this is a recompense for behavior. There's a difference. And with a recompense, it's an opportunity to show you I'm correcting you. Sometimes it puts you through because now I'm testing you. And it's tube to know where you're at, and you ought to consider. Because you don't want to be in your self-righteousness. You want to put yourself there just to consider. Everybody got to consider. Even Ehud, the book, Ehud never told her he was perfect upright, did he? The writer did. The writer. And Yahuah himself from the writer let her know that there was none like him. So we heard about his Tahalim, his praise, through somebody else. But when he was put down and lost all he had and his health was tested, he was on his, what we call the deathbed, what was this man saying about himself? Rosha, wicked. He wanted him to all are the Yum, where would ever said that a male child was born. You know, I'm from association I had. They tried to say that he had done it. They were so blind in what they were saying. They were trying to justify that how you know how the Shabbat was. They said EU told him to blot out the day he said whatever a male child born. Had that been done, who would come and say no what happened? Had the answer, huh? It would have been him. When he was saying curse the day where it was said a male, he was talking about the day of his birth. So if he'd have cursed it all audit, that means he wouldn't have been living. He'd have had to go back and erase all his doings. Everything that he attached to, connect to, would have been erased. And that wasn't happening because we still read the book. But just so they can get out the Shabbat, they'll say he said it and say he was perfect right, Yahuah here. See, people find every type of way to go around it. This is why he can't use people. Now, these people won't use what they call profanity. These people won't drink. These people won't commit adultery. These people won't fornicate. But what these people do, they will not avail themselves to the amat. The amat, that's tight. Because, I mean, it's amat when you look at some of the people, they really want to drink anyway. They really want no layer anyway. And even if they were, they'd do it. But you know, he'll get you by simple orders, a kill them. Simple orders, a kill them. They can do everything he tell them to do. He said, don't eat that. That don't make no sense. I tell you the truth. God made everything. He also made doo-doo. Won't you eat it? You know what I'm saying? It's all kind, but I'm just saying, he proves us with these things that you might not think it's a lot to. Don't y'all know there's some things that people do, and people look, they say, man, that's extraordinary. Man, that's something. Then it's a little thing you will let come and show you. Ain't nothing to him. It's nothing to him. You just saw the big thing. It's the little things I look at with these people and show you. Like I say, look at the stature. They look at the height. They look at the eloquence of it. He said, but I look on the heart. Is the heart bigger than your face? Or your height? That's what he look at. He says the little things. I'm looking at the heart. So with the law is why we sit down and we consider these matters, because the law is what we use to believe. Hello? And this is what get us over into confessing. Because a lot of times we don't confess it because I don't really believe it. That's not what I believe. Y'all got it. You might think you do. I'm trying to confess. But the law will tell it. See, the law is innocent. The law is biased. You know what I'm saying? That lie might come from your mouth, but you know what's said now. You can try to talk it up and be loud with it. You know what's said. I just lied. I lied. You know what he said? And I was looking at it too. He said, I was looking at it too. So it gets he wants to get us to the purest point of understanding. That's why with Yahushua, I mean, he made it bend and not deliver lie, so he could demonstrate the truth. So a lot of things he stayed out of, he didn't commit himself to. He looked at his commitment to Yahuwah. And you know what the two thing about all this? He didn't ask any of us to do that. Leave your families and everything you got and go live out here and go and have your kids born in a stable. You have people that will actually do that. You know that? Because they want to be so close to Jesus. They want their kid, but they're going to go and they're going to let their child be born in a man. And their child going to have all kind of breakout attitude from that done straw. Because people in their minds thinking this is what he asking for. No, he said, I'll give you houses. I want you to have you wives and get you kids. Because he looked at, he even put them in one captivity. He let them know. He said, I want you to get wives. I want you to have kids. He said, so your end don't come. So I want you to multiply. Y'all got it. But it's understanding when and why. He put them through some things they had to suffer and persevere through. He said, you're going to need to have some kids. Otherwise, it's going to wipe you out. Look at the Indian. Look at their population, what they call the Indian people. See, he came through, look at it, through all the captivity. Listen, with those people they call Indians, none of these folks went through what we went through. And I'm not belittling, listen, that stuff, and folks, listen, I've been with you. Compared to what we going through and how many times we going through it, everybody's stuff is laughable. Even the so-called white Jews said, tell me all your stories. One time for 2 weeks in Germany, man, stop, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You ain't said 2 weeks. We don't have nothing. 2 weeks ain't even a start or nothing for us. We had years and years or hundreds of years. I mean, how long our stuff been? None of any of the Trail of Tears, nigga, I'm still crying. Yeah. He had a Trail of Tears, nigga, I got rivers. We built the Mississippi with crying. So, again, everybody be respected in this situation. But you got to understand when you're talking to the so-called Negro, his plight, what he's gone through, has been so massive and so continual on him to where it puts him in a state of he got to consider. It took all that to get us to consider. If had our plight been in a way, I wouldn't be here now. Entire plight. It's constant, anything with it. And we know it makes sense because when Yahuah told Hananiah, he said, Yahuah always nobbled against. We ain't got nothing, it's always been against us. His hand has always been against us, so he could turn us. To try to turn her. All these things he used to try to turn her, it's a matter of, are you listening? Are you listening that you'll consider? To consider this so you get a better end. I'm just telling y'all, it's important because it's going to get tight. I'm sorry, tighter. And because it's going to get tighter, we're going to need to be in a certain mindset. He's looking for manifestation. You ain't going to believe what he's not looking for. Justification. Y'all hear me? He's looking for manifestation and not justification. Y'all got that? I need you to show it. I don't need you to keep trying to explain and make reasons why you ain't doing it. Manifestation, not justification. That's two.